going to give you a secret. You know, I'm a therapist. I know a lot of secrets. I would love, at the end of these 25 minutes, that you walked out of here with 2 words that can change how you see your world. Amen. Finish my sentence. If life gives you a lemon, make... No. Lemon drop martini. That's for kids' lemonade. We have a choice to be martini half full or martini glass half empty kind of people. Grab your glass of that iced tea that I drank 5 of yesterday. It's very delicious. And if you don't want it, I will drink it after. Now hold it up. Or water if you're on a diet. You can't be on a diet in the Philippines. I thought I'd lose weight in Asia. No. Now, raise your glass if you are a glass is half full. The world is full of lightness and brightness. I'm a positive person. And hold your glass down here if you're more a realist. Let's see what we have in the room. Oh, the men on the corner, they are throwing their water on the ground. Positivity over there. Yana, of course, Richard's up there. The guys up, the men all have their, very nice. What's your name, sir? Ravi is a positive man in the front row, drinking water, not vodka. That's a leader, huh? Cheers. I would love to inspire us that we have within ourselves the perception that can change the way we see the world. We cannot change anyone else. Has anyone ever tried, I know it's a crazy idea, to change their husband? Did it work? They just tried. Do men ever try and change their wives? They do. No. You don't want to change your wife. Why? She's perfect? Don't dare. Fantastic. Wise men once said, I don't dare change my wife. Yes? Now, take your fingers like this, like 3 in Thailand, in Philippines, and now flip them upside down. Oh! And if that doesn't hurt you, you are under age 20. Congratulations. And you don't have carpal tunnel syndrome. Yes? Imagine you walked around the world looking at it with a more positive perception. What would change in your life if you were just a little bit more positive? Shout it out. Happier. Aim. Happier, content. Is that the same or not the same? Discuss. Go. No, just joking. Happier is what we're all looking for. Every skincare product, every fashion design, every psychology course, every diet is trying to get us to be happier. We want this. And we can control it. It's hard work. But if it weren't hard work, everybody would have it. And then it would lose its value. Who has abs in the room? We got to, he's getting taller. Let's see. 1 ab. We all have abs underneath that dessert, right? Oh my goodness. Now, if you want abs, apparently I've heard the rumor that you have to go to the gym or like do things like this. Yes? I've never tried. And yeah, you can get abs if you want. You have to make decisions to get the abs. Just like you have to make decisions to be more positive. Huh? Who wants abs and who wants to be happy? Does happiness equal abs? No. More dessert. We're going to do a little experiment to see where you're at, where your reality is right now at Breakthrough. You're going to be in groups of 3. Filipino way, I love it. Don't do this in Turkey. It means something very bad in Turkey. The first person is going to say, fortunately, and give a sentence. Fortunately, it's a sunny day. Sir, could you start a sentence with unfortunately to respond to my comment? Unfortunately, it's still wet and humid. And then I would say, fortunately, we're indoors with an amazing buffet with air conditioning. Then he would go back to unfortunately. You'll be doing it in a group of 3. So you'll be rotating the positive and the realistic. And which one do you live in most of the time? Just take note. Do you have a suspicion which one you live in most of the time? Yeah, maybe half and half. That would be normal. Yes? Could you take 1 minute with a group of 3? The person with the longest hair starts with fortunately. And then next. Unfortunately. That's me. Another wise expression, say it louder. This man has been married for how many years? 12. Unfortunately or fortunately? Oh, yes. There is an expression in North America. I'm from Canada, although I look German and I sound American. And I eat American. I eat Filipino style. You guys like to eat. I love it. All the pressure in Europe to be thin. No. I just look pregnant. It's fantastic. Well, there's an expression in Canada that says, that guy has a one-track mind. What does it mean? Focused. Inflexible. It's a little bit naughty. That guy, surrounded by all those women who never goes to work, has a one-track mind. Yes? He's interested in finding a wife or wives. Yes? And so when you are determined, you have a one-track mind, like we heard today with Rebecca. My God, 4 years, Singapore, Canada, get my nephews to come, right? Find a husband. Very successful, very nice, love it. And so you have the choice which track to go on. You can only be on one track. We have another expression, what can't you do with 2 horses? You can't ride 2 horses. So you have to be either on this track to more positivity or on this track to less positivity. You choose. It's your choice. Which one feels better? Well, it depends, no? Some of us girls, we like to have a little session sometimes. Unfortunately, did you know what she did? Did you know what he did? It's kind of fun, but it's a waste of time, as we learned from Andrew. Gossiping is a waste of time. The question is, can you adapt when to be negative, positive, and maybe realistic? Huh? Because it's in your power. The weak cannot control their hands. The weak cannot control their minds, and they are led down the river of media, popular culture, and they just float down a river saying, I wonder why I never got happy or successful or abs. Yeah? Well, we know, but it's hard work. And you have the ability to choose. And I'll teach you the 3 steps and the 2 words to adapt so that when you're in a situation, which is every day, you can have the power to know, I can choose which track I'm going on. Sound good? Fantastic. Emotional intelligence says that there's one little one that wasn't heard about. Poor little adaptability. Nobody cared about adaptability until something that rhymes with Morona. My Corona. Adaptability shot to the top of the list. It became the #1 skill of the future of work. Understandable. Those who adapted did not go into depression, or at least only for a couple of months in the beginning. They rose out of it. Those who did not adapt fell very hard. Adaptation skills is the secret to a happier future, a more productive team, better collaborations. When you think about where you want to take your career next, I want you to think not about just you alone. I want you to think about who do you have to reach out to collaborate with, to adapt to. Maybe you have to adapt to a different type of people, a different type of thinking. Do you want to do business with Europe? They perhaps do things differently. If you don't, okay, stay on your track. You're probably doing great. But if you want to go for bigger, to get that bigger dream, you're going to have to adapt to different kinds of people, different ways of doing things. Amen? Adaptability is going to become, it's hard to believe because we haven't heard about it so much, but I have thousands of colleagues who train adaptability quotient. The ability to be agile. Oh yeah, no one's even watching, they're looking at my slide. That was a good move. The ability to, in times of trouble, stress, and uncomfortableness, make decisive decisions. Those people who just stop and wait, they go bankrupt. Kodak. We can measure this now. I'm a coach in adaptability quotient. We measure 15 skills, and we can see what your team is excelling at individually and what they are lacking. And then, with artificial intelligence, you get coached to improve the few things that you need to improve. And then you know also, if all of your team does it, who has the skills that you need in this position and who needs to be shifted to a different department. It's revolutionary. Never before have we been able to measure how adaptable a mind is. Who would say they're an adaptable, flexible, does yoga kind of person? Not the yoga part. I know I'm in a room of dessert lovers, but adaptable, flexible. Just one? You're kidding. We would like to think so, wouldn't we? It's hard work. So then, I say, are you ready? It's not easy to adapt to step out of the comfort zone. It's uncomfortable. Netflix is very, very interesting. And chips. And being who we are, staying who we are, is easy. But if you want to go to the next level, as Rebecca said, sacrifice. As our host said, passion is sacrifice. So you better be clear which track you're going on, because who wants to sacrifice for other people, other people's profit and other people's dreams? Not I, said the fly. So we want to practice leading in uncertainty. There are 3 steps to being a more adaptable human. It's called the lab. L. What is the first step to being a better communicator that knows how to adapt in a certain situation? Starts with an L. Oh, you're so smart, listen. Now, what would the A stand for? Once I have heard the person speak, I need to do something. Act first, before act. Accept. Genius. Have you seen my work before? Accept. And lastly, I have heard the situation. I have heard their truth. I have heard the economic downturn. I have heard the reality. I must accept it as the reality. I cannot deny it, repress it, or say it doesn't exist. And then I have a choice to build. I either go down that track with that person, or I say, What do I say? If I don't want to go down a path with someone, no. You have a choice to say no to people. Yes? Yes, no? And you want to know when to say yes and when to say no. And there's 2 other words that will help you decide when you want to say yes and no. Before that, will you marry me? No, that's one answer. What's another 2 answers that are possible? Maybe, yes? Thank you, you're cute too. Maybe. If certain conditions are met. Yes, it's a moonstone from Sri Lanka. I'm not married. I'm still available. Yes, no, and I propose that everything in life is an offer. Imagine if you saw life like that, you wouldn't be a victim because you could choose every time someone threw something at your face. Do you want dessert? Yes, he does. Do you want to go with me downtown Manila tonight to an improv show? Yes, no, maybe. Huh? You get to choose when offers come your way. You are empowered in that way. Unless there's a gun sticking to your head, which has happened, you still have the power to choose how you react to that. Cannot change the world, but you can choose how you respond. Now, I need someone to come hold my hand. Anyone? Come on, you look horrified at that thought. Her face went, oh, what is she doing? Now. Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. Really?
Yeah, that's my mom. She's awesome.
She is awesome.
She told me to say that.
You're so cute. So I'm going to ask you 3 offers.
Okay.
You are just going to say yes.
Okay.
Oh, what could I ask her? She has to say yes. Mom, what would be embarrassing? Most embarrassing. Okay. Would you like to go to Cebu with us next week? Okay, great. Would you like to go to the beach with me and run? Would you like to help clean up all the dishes after this? Yes, say yes. Yeah. Yes, okay. Lying. Ooh. Now, there is a problem with yes. I'm moving forward. And what happens to someone who just says yes, a yes woman? She's staying. She's staying. I want to know more about, I want her to collaborate with me, to walk down that track with me. But she's just saying yes. And yes is, sorry to say, boring. No offense. You are not boring. Can we give a round of applause? Yes. But nothing comes from just saying yes. We must add another word to that. So who's feeling that they might know the extra word that we need to add to yes, to get things done on teams, to change our lives, to collaborate better? It's on the slide, just in case you want to read it. And you win the prize, sir. We're going to be doing this exercise now, 1 sentence at a time. You can do it in 2s or 3s. The first person will create a sentence. Once upon a time, there was a woman from Canada who hated the snow. True story. The next person, yes, and I heard you, and I add my contribution. And she wore thermal all the time. Yes, and that prevented her from getting any dates. Yes, and she stayed single forever. Yes, yeah, that was my story. But now I'm in Barcelona. You can go anywhere with your story. Yes? So just take the yes, I heard you, and add to collaborate to create a story together. Groups of 2 or 3, you have 1 minuto. Por favor. Yes? And that was a quick story. Yes? That's a good story. How does it end with death? The poor man. Two thumbs up if that was fun. One thumb up if that was a little bit challenging. Oh, I get 2 thumbs up back here. Very nice. Two. I heard a lot of laughter. The energy of collaborating. Yeah? It's not fun to create a story by yourself because I know what I'm going to say. I always say the same stuff. I know myself. I know my humor. I know what I'm going to add, not add. It's usually about my dating life and myself. Like, I know where I'm going. But when I collaborate with someone, who knows where you can go? Yes. And? Don't just say yes. You choose how you respond to stress and uncertainty. Not easy, but every time it is a choice. Yes and? And what is the opposite of yes and? A polite way to say no. Yes, but. Yes, but not now. Yes, but not with you. That's what we're saying. It erases the previous information. Yeah? You're always putting your butt into other people's problems, saying, yes, but this. No. Yes, no, or yes and. Can I have an example? You want to reject somebody at work. Their idea is very ridiculous. You tried it in 1982 and it didn't work. And a new intern comes and says, boss, let's do what Kodak did and print pictures that take a week to develop. How would you respond with yes and to that? Yes and you're fired? We're going to work on that response. Yes? Yes, and you might want to educate yourself on the new camera techniques. Perfect. Yeah? Okay, you're at home, and your partner says to you, oh, I would, what's an example? Let me think. Would you like to go watch a baseball or basketball game with me, ladies? Yeah. You don't want to be impolite. You want to support him. How could you nicely reject him, but still leave it open for collaboration for another collaborative activity? More interesting, perhaps. Yes, I heard you. And I have to do the dishes. And I have a headache. Oh. And I'll do the dishes with you. She knows how to keep the romance alive. Anyone else? And if we had a helicopter, I'd love to go with you. Yeah? Okay. Future collaboration. Yes does not mean I agree with you. Let's go do something terrible in another country. If any, let's go beat up some children. What? No. Okay. I've learned this as a therapist. You say, yes, I heard you, and there are better ways to deal with your aggression. Well, yeah. A no is just like a slap on our face. A yes, but is a rejection. We feel it very subtly. And we want to try and avoid those to be more adaptable and collaborate with people, situations, and life that we don't really want to collaborate with, but we have no choice. Google. Google has a lot of teams where a lot of people need to collaborate. It must be crazy running them. Does anyone work for Google? No? They tried to find out what is the secret to effective teams. Google's smart. They could Google it. Ha! They looked at all these different teams and tried to find out what did they have in common. Are they the same religion? Do they wear the same clothes? Do they have the same kind of lunch? Nothing in common that was indicative of a reproducible, good team method. Then they did Project Aristotle. And here, they went into deeper things of what did we learn from not learning what we tried to learn? And what they learned that there are two key values of successful teams. The first one is that the hierarchy does not work. If you want to have an effective, thriving, psychologically safe team, people must have equal speaking time. That's it. The boss doesn't get to speak 3 times more than the person who clears the table, because the person who clears the table has contact with us. They know more about us than the person sitting in the office. This person has the right, if they're on the team, to contribute. And once that person feels safe to contribute, innovation can happen. How can we avoid wasting so much iced tea? Well, the guy in the office doesn't know that. Ask our beautiful wait staff, and they will share. But if you don't ask them, you'll keep wasting money, time. Equal speaking time. Secondly, Project Aristotle found out something very simple. It rhymes with rice. Be nice. Be nice. Empathy. Human empathy, human kindness. When someone's having a bad day, be nice. Tomorrow might be your bad day. Psychological safety is the result of these two premises. Psychological safety was coined by a man, Amy Edmondson. She's from Harvard. And she says that team psychological safety is the measure of how people feel on a team when they feel heard. They are not afraid to have their ideas put out there, and they know they won't be fired. Like a child, "Mommy, I have a great idea." That kid will not be ridiculed. They will say, "Yes, that's a lovely idea," and not very safe. But their ideas are not squashed or ruined. We are humans when we are children, and we continue to be humans with emotions. And so, we want to make people feel safe. It's a belief that you won't be punished. So ask your team, do you have ideas? And if they fear being punished, they will not say them to you. They'll say, "Yes, ma'am." And what happens when we say, "Yes, ma'am"? Management keeps going with their great ideas. There's 5 keys for a successful team. Psychological safety is the pillar of it. Without that, you will have nothing underneath it, because people are not going to innovate. I'm going to India next week on Friday. India, fabulous country, changed like crazy. Wow, 3rd in the world on research. But on innovation, 47th. Yes? There's a culture of "yes, ma'am," "yes, sir." Yes? Ravi, would you agree? Yes? Great, it feels great to be the boss, but when you want to innovate, you cannot have only your ideas. Your story is boring, you know where you're going, you know your ideas. You need other people to throw in yes, and take you somewhere else. And it's more fun when you're on the same path with other people who have the same vision and add their ideas. Just try this, it's going to take 15 seconds. Feel the difference between "and" "but." Say to the person beside you, "I love sitting beside you, but," add it, or say, "I love sitting beside you, and." Just see what comes out of your mouth and how you feel when that person says "but" to you. It's a subtle thing. Take 15 seconds and turn to the person, give them 2 compliments, and then switch. You have a great example up here. I asked him, it looks like you're just complimenting your beautiful partner at this large table. And they said, we're just doing the end. And the answer was, yeah.
Yeah, but we're not that close.
But. So when you say but to someone, you have to be kind of close to that person. Now, I like you, but, ouch. Because we know something bad's coming. So when you're giving feedback to someone, you say, great job, your reports are always on time, your shoes are always shined, you're fantastic, but, oh, what if you just, in your feedback, when you talk to people, switch but for end? Just change one word in your vocabulary. People will feel completely different with you. Huh? And it takes some training, and that's why I train it. Call me. Feeling safe as you are. This is what we all want as humans. To feel safe, to be heard, to be seen. Do you know who this is? Harry, look at you, trending. Harry Styles. Now look very closely in this area. You're not a pervert, don't worry. So successful, so handsome, so wearing a lot of blue. He goes on stage with his zipper down. I am right. Just Google zipper down celebrities. The 80-20 human. This is what I'd like to end on. We, like the rest of our team, like the rest of humanity, in 47 countries I've traveled to, I really hate the cold in Canada, I have never met non-humans. Everyone is the same. Everyone has their bright, beautiful, positive, kind, not smelly side. And everybody, even him, has their dark, selfish, sad, can't control themselves with the cookies. No? Anyone? We have 80%, wow, what humanity was made of, love, ding, 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 butterflies. And then we have the darkness, the yin and the yang. And you are just like me, just like him. We all have the dark and the light. And once you accept the dark and the light, wow, the world is your oyster. You get to choose how to respond to yourself. Don't beat yourself up when you bring out your 20% and forget your fly and you have spinach in your teeth. Remember the 80%. Build your 80%. Forgive yourself for the 20%. People on your team, forgive them when they're like this. Build them up. Collaborate them when they're in their 80%. Build teams that thrive. Collaborate. Write down on a piece of paper here, who, to get yourself to the next level, do you need to collaborate with? Where do you want to work next? Who do you want to do business with? Within the next 24 hours, research says you should make an action towards this. If you just write it down and do nothing, it won't happen. After this, you can turn to your little neighbors, who are your friends now, and say, in 1 week, I will do this. In 24 hours, I will at least find them on LinkedIn. My name is Jessica Breitenfeld, and I am an 80-20 human. It has been a pleasure to meet all of you. Thank you very much.
Wow.